faculty.
Bro, what the actual
and at
fuck?
times has been put on public display.
Why is the face so like stretched out like that? Reapers, what is good? It's your boy Laser. You guys are another vibes back for some more scary reaction videos. These are loving the scary content, so I tuned over that for you guys. In this video, we're reacting to the most disturbing things caught on camera. It is literally night where I'm at, guys, so I'm about to get terrified. Now, if you guys enjoy the scary content, you guys want more scary videos like this, simply just hit that like button, you subscribe, and turn notifications on. It only takes less than a second. Let's dive straight into this video. Number one. Oh shit.
House fire ghost. An abandoned, dilapidated house in an unknown location had been deliberately set alight by the fire department in a controlled manner. Spectators gathered to watch the burning and took some photos. However, after looking over the images later, one of the photographers got a shock.
House fires are so scary, dude.
Take a look. It
Like,
looks
just
like
the
a
thing-
mother and her child are fleeing the fire,
Yo.
even though neither were witnessed by the spectators.
So
at
they
the
like
scene.
dead?
The chilling shot made people speculate that it was the spirit of a former resident of the long-abandoned home. What do you think?
That's so unsettling, dude. Damn, house fires can just happen to any of us, bro.
Serial
Serial
killer
killer.
in a jar.
So we got this drawing.
𝐬𝐨𝐽 was a Spanish serial killer and robber who between 1836 and 1840 murdered at least 70 people near Lisbon in Portugal.
Did I
On the
hear that
19th
right?
of
70
February
killers?
1841,
70 people he
Alves was
killed?
hanged for his crimes. His heinous actions intrigued scientists as they wanted to study his brain. So his head was severed from his corpse and preserved in a jar of formaldehyde solution.
Bro, why do people
Over
do that
180
shit?
years later, it is still in a jar, perfectly preserved,
Why do people preserve
and
that?
not showing
Like,
any signs that it has been studied.
there's like a whole lab where people like preserve shit. Like, it's underground, but why do people preserve
The
bodies on
severed
it, bro?
head is
Bro,
kept
what
in
the
the
heck?
anatomical theatre of the University of Lisbon's Faculty of
Bro,
Medicine,
what the actual
and at
fuck?
times has been put on public display.
Why is the face so like stretched out like that? What the hell? Fuck. Oh, that's an upside down
nature.
shark. It's upside
These
down
creepy
shark.
looking faces left Instagram users perplexed
That
when they
sleeper
were
house
released
demon.
recently. The faces are reminiscent of the Joker from Batman or some other demonic character from a horror film.
These sharks literally look like sleep paralysis demons that are gonna tickle my nuts late at night, bro.
However, the truth behind the shot is actually quite simple to explain. It's a photo of the underbelly of a perfectly normal great white shark, which has been flipped upside down.
Damn.
The shift in perspective makes one of the world's most well-known creatures look even more sinister.
The ocean is so fucking scary, bro. Especially because of shit like that. Damn, like sharks, bro. They usually don't bite, but
Ghostly installation. St. George's Church in the small village of Ľaková in the Czech Republic was built in 1352,
I figured it had to be at least like
and since the
300
roof
years old.
collapsed during a
200.
funeral in 1968, it has been largely abandoned by the living, as the locals believe the place is cursed and haunted. However, in 2012, a resident decided to raise funds to repair the church, and together with a local art student, came up with a novel but rather creepy way to raise the money. The artist created plaster models of parishioners who had passed away, then covered them with white sheets, before placing them randomly in the pews of the church. The ghostly and quite morbid installation has attracted visitors from all over the world, and has raised enough money to get the roof repaired and keep the church going.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Woodland horror. If you were taking a leisurely walk through the woods and you came across swollen-looking blackened fingers poking up through the earth, your first thought would be that you have stumbled across a grave, or worse, someone buried alive who had tried to escape. In reality, these are aptly named dead man's fingers, a macabre-looking saprobic fungus that is fairly common in the United Kingdom, Ireland, mainland Europe, and parts of North America. So look out for them
Interesting.
next time you're on a woodland walk.
Dude, just imagine like walking, you see hands coming out of the ground. You'd be thinking like fucking zombies are coming out and shit, dude. Oh,
Above
there's a
and
bunch of
beyond,
crystals? Is
this
that root?
poignant
Oh,
image
shit.
is a reminder of the cost of war.
Oh,
What you're
dude.
seeing is 58,307 dog tags.
Oh,
Each tag
imagine.
represents a person killed in the Vietnam War, showing
Damn.
their name, military branch, and date of death.
I don't know why that hurts
The
my
art
eyes.
installation was commissioned by the National Veterans Art Museum and created by artist Rick Steinbock and veteran artists Ned Broderick,
Tell me
Joe
that shit doesn't
Fournette,
make you guys
and Mike
cringe.
Halbing, and is the only memorial other than the wall in Washington, D.C., to list all those killed in action during the Vietnam War. It certainly gives pause for thought.
Ugh. No, no sir, bro. No sir.
The Mad Bomber. This cheerful-looking guy posing with his wide smile looks
Cheerful.
harmless enough.
Sure, he
Until
doesn't
you
harm.
realize this
Sure, he
is
doesn't
George
harm anyone.
Metesky, better known as the Mad Bomber, who terrorized New York City for 16 years in the 1940s and 50s by planting bombs in various public places. In total, at least 33 bombs were placed, of which 22 exploded, injuring 15 people. His reason for creating such carnage was that he was angry and resentful about events surrounding a workplace injury he had suffered years earlier.
Psychopath, bro.
Metesky was apprehended in 1957 based on clues given in letters he wrote to a newspaper, and was found legally insane and committed to a state mental hospital. He was released in 1973
Who's
and died
released?
20 years later at the age of 90.
I mean, they said 90. I'm sure he wouldn't harm anyone at 90, but
The
still.
sadness of Otto Frank. Anne Frank was a German-born Jew living with her family in Frankfurt during Hitler's regime. His hatred of the Jews forced the family to move to Amsterdam instead.
Just a reminder, guys, I'm actually Jewish. My ancestors, this was a crazy time period. It's crazy to me that people actually think the Holocaust was fake and shit. The fact that people actually think that shit, this shit, dude, was
Start a new life.
the Holocaust was so
On
bad.
the 1st of September,
What they did to all these
1939, when Anne was just 10 years old,
Jewish people,
Nazi
bro, in
Germany
Europe and
invaded
shit.
Poland, and the Second World War began. Just a few days later, they invaded the Netherlands. Life became unbearable for Jews living there, so Anne's father Otto moved the family to a cramped hiding place in the attic of his
They hated
mother's
us because we were
palace
talented,
in
bro.
Graf 263. Anne and her family had to keep very quiet and were often afraid during the 2 years they spent in the attic. But Anne occupied her time by documenting every single day of her life there.
Fuck, that's terrifying.
Eventually the family were discovered by the Nazis, and Anne and her family were transported to the 𝐬𝐻𝐴Z𝐤 concentration and extermination camp.
Damn.
Anne and her sister were later moved to Bergen-Belsen, where sadly they both died of typhus.
That's so fucking terrifying.
However, remarkably, her diary survived, and after the war, her father, who was the only member of the family to survive, introduced Anne's writings to people all over the world. And in 1960, the hiding place in Amsterdam became a museum, the Anne Frank House. This poignant photo shows Otto revisiting the tiny space for the first time since losing all of his family.
Fuck,
What must have
bro.
been going through his mind?
Dude, World War II, war is the only time when the monsters literally look like us. That's just crazy. That's actually very deep to think about, but the Holocaust, dude, the World War II, all that shit was no joke. I can't fucking speak today, if you guys can't tell.
Forced standing. Mental health treatments have come a long way since the 1800s, when patients were subjected to inhumane treatments such as shock therapy, lobotomies, and other torturous therapy. Sadly, for the lady in our next image, such treatment was rife, and we see her manacled and facing a wall in Germany in what was known as standing therapy. Take a look at this appalling treatment.
Thank God medicine and all that shit, bro, has evolved to where this shit doesn't exist anymore.
Would you dare? There's not a whole lot of information on this next clip,
Nope.
but we found it pretty creepy.
Nope.
Just looking down into the dark abyss.
Nope. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that.
The Beast of Jersey.
Oh, he was a serial
Edward
killer?
Paisley was a serial sex offender who terrorized the
Serial
Channel
sex.
Islands of Jersey between 1957 and 1971.
He did that for 20 years?
He entered homes at night dressed in a rubber mask and nail-studded wristlets, attacking women and children.
Fuck.
On July 17th, 1971, Paisley was stopped by police.
This is
after
some
running a red
Leatherface
light.
type shit, dude.
In the boot of his stolen car, they discovered his attack kit that included the horrific mask.
That mask is creepy.
He was later convicted on 13 counts of sexual and physical assault and sentenced to 30 years in prison.
30 years?
After his
Fucking
imprisonment,
give him
his
life.
wife wrote the book, The Beast of Jersey, that featured a police photo of her husband wearing a horrific mask.
That is fucking unsettling. It looks like Leatherface, but with some small adjustments. This is the Leatherface story. This is the Leatherface story.
Of all the serial killers we've talked about in the past,
Leatherface was
we've
inspired
always
off this
found
guy.
Ed Gein to be the most interesting case. We've talked about Ed many times before, but it's easy to forget the horrors that were found in his house. He was not the most prolific serial killer ever, but was probably the most shocking. His crimes committed around his hometown of Plainfield, Wisconsin, were some of the most abhorrent ever recorded. Gein dug up bodies from local graveyards and also murdered 2 local women. But it was what he did with their remains that was so grotesque. He used their body parts to fashion trophies and keepsakes, using their bones and skin. He made everyday items like belts, clothing, and household goods, and adorned his squalid home with them. Here are some mock-ups of just a few of the grotesque things he made.
To think that there, guys, before he shows it, to think that there's people out there that literally could be selling shit, like, right now, like, with actual body parts and shit. Oh, shit. So that looks like a cup, I'm assuming? Gloves with, like, human skin? That is fucking... I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that shit.
There are many others that are even more horrific, and many details were never...
I wish I didn't see that shit.
After his arrest, 𝐬𝐨 was found unfit for trial and confined to a mental health facility. He eventually stood trial, but was found legally insane. He died at Mendota Mental Health Institute from lung cancer on July 26, 1984, age 77.
Beyond fucking psychopath, bro. It's literally night right now. I'm scared, guys. I'm fucking scared.
Going to work. This next photo will make you think twice about moaning about work conditions. It shows what miners had to endure on a daily basis. This was a mine in Belgium, but similar conditions were seen in mines around the world.
My claustrophobia would never. My claustrophobia would never.
In this instance, the miners were being brought up from the coal face at the end of their shift, only to endure the exact same thing the next day. Mining in general is incredibly interesting, and there are lots of creepy stories and horrific incidents to be told about the mining days. So let us know if you'd like to see a video on that.
Number 14.
The Last Portrait. In December 1929, Charlie Lawson treated his wife Fanny and their 7 young children to a shopping trip to buy new clothes in preparation for a family portrait he had arranged as a Christmas present. It was unusual for a working-class rural family to go to such expense, and the children must have been surprised and excited by their father's generosity. This portrait was taken just before Christmas. On Christmas Day of the same year, Charlie Lawson slaughtered his entire family. First he shot 2 of his daughters before savagely beating them to ensure they were dead. Then he shot his wife and 3 of his other children before killing the baby. After the senseless murders, he went into a nearby woods and shot himself.
What a
The only
fucking
survivor
pussy.
was his eldest son, 19-year-old Arthur.
Bro, like the people that murder someone and then like kill themselves to take the easy way out, fucking pussies.
Whom Charlie had sent on an errand just before committing the crime. A truly horrifying story.
Fucking pussies, bro. Well, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. To think that there's people out there right now that are doing that crazy shit the serial killers are doing, and they're not, like, locked up or caught, that's fucking terrifying to think about. But if you guys enjoyed the scary content, you guys want more scary videos like this in the future, you guys already know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Extra large money.